Hey, Corey.
So good.
Not a whole lot. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Do you have a PDF version of the practice test?
Do I have a PDF version of the practice test?
Yeah, other than Surefire, because it won't let me go back once I've started the test.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to finish it all the way out. And then once it's finished, then you can go back and you can redo it. So what I'm actually doing, what I've been doing for the last hour is sitting here and hand typing the CSIA exam prep in from Surefire into a Quizlet. And I'm adding
no.
pictures and everything else.
Sweet.
Hey, we got a lot more faces tonight.
Yeah. A lot more. Let me see here. Share screen. Hey. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Sweet. All right. Let's see here. Where is that? There it is. Pictures and diagrams. All right. So last time
There you go.
had some kind of pictures or something. So that's what we got this time.
There you go.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice outfit, Marty.
Make you hungry?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
COVID land.
Right?
There's that guy that don't answer the phone when I called him.
Who? Me?
Yeah, you.
When did you call me?
About 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know, and I answered, and you go, nothing happened for a while, and then you go, hello, and then it went click, and then that was the end of it.
Yeah, I'll just talk to you. It's about a reminder. That's on my schedule for glass doors.
I thought it was that really pretty circular chimney that you were at earlier.
Oh, no.
I put the reminder on you today because I was looking forward in the schedule, and it was actually scheduled on you on like the 27th of the month. So I moved it forward to today.
Yeah, well, my question was, what do I need a reminder for to measure for glass doors?
No, it was to fill out the form.
Well, I didn't sell any glass doors, and John said they would have to take a template out there, basically a piece of cardboard, and trace it because it was an arched one.
Oh,
Well, then that means you have to pick up a piece of cardboard. But
And drive to like far east Dallas.
yeah,
Hit those upside road. On your way to Far East Dallas, Marty, just grab one from one of the people standing on the side of the road as you're going.
There's plenty
there
of
you
them.
go.
I guess down here.
It's okay. Just take their house.
Did we lose? Oh, we just can't see.
There he
everybody.
is. There's
We can't
Joe.
see everybody. That's all. All right.
There's Madeline.
Just Adam.
Hi.
He's muted though.
Adam.
Scroll down.
Joe, Brock, Angela, Marty, Cody.
yep. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to start going through.
Take the test.
Yeah, we're going to start going through the exam, the actual practice exam.
Yep.
And we are going to look at how to find the information and understand it. And then we're going to, as a group, decide on the answer that we want to post. And then at the end of it, we will see how we do.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
All right, let's do this.
So, all right. Now my phone turned off. All right, let's do this. So, start the test. and then we wait. Okay. First question. What is a corbel? So, without getting too deep into it, the easiest way to find it in the
Masonry
NFPA
projecting
211,
upward and
which is
outward from the wall or
right here.
chimney.
Mhm.
Already know it.
And if you type in the word corbel,
Wasn't that just
Mm.
nifty?
and the first one that comes up right here is corbel. Units of masonry projecting from or projecting upward and outward from the face of a wall or chimney, blah, 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 blah.
Nice.
You can find the individual representations of
That's the IRC digital.
Oh, that'll be helpful because that other book is like super big.
When are we gonna get the IRC digital?
It's in, Madeline added it to the tab in the exam prep.
Oh, okay.
So when you look it up, it gives you all of the different areas of corbel. So where masonry is supporting a fireplace is designated building and corbels are used to support beams, girders, corbeling shall be according. So we know that corbeling is what's stacking up and out, right?
Correct.
In the pictures that I have, hang on. Get this one over here for you. So brick that is stacking up and out.
That's corbeling.
The answers are the angle of the smoke chamber, the top of the chimney that overlaps the brickwork, masonry projecting upward and outward from a wall or chimney, and the hearth extending from a fireplace, from the face of a fireplace, or none of the above.
See,
So corbelling is when we're stacking bricks off to the side, which was the original units of masonry projecting from or projecting upward. So that's what this one is right here. Masonry projecting upward and outward from a chimney or a wall. So it's the upside down staircase. That is what corbelling is.
Well, it can be, doesn't have to be the upside down staircase. It's upside down on the inside of the fireplace and it's really,
No, because if it's in the other direction, if it's inverted, it's considered a step. So corbelling is when it goes up.
I get it.
And this is all online. This is that stuff that we have the links to online, this right here.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the test, Angela and Becky, do you guys have access to Surefire online?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I can double check that first thing in the morning and I can make sure that all the ladies in the call center have access to it.
Perfect.
I can get you guys added. I'm gonna send over an email to the CSIA for everybody to be registered. And then I will double check. I'll double check to make sure that everybody gets added to Surefire that's not already on it. We may even have some new technicians that aren't on it yet.
Okay.
Perfect.
So the answer that we want to select, most likely, if everybody agrees with me, is masonry projecting upward and outward from a wall or chimney.
Yes.
Yes.
Next. Okay. So-
Redirect water.
A redirect water. So a cricket is designed to, so we'll go back over here again. Cricket. Only found on one page. So there's only mentioned one word, one spot here. So the, let's see, let's go back and open up the IRC. So this one is the IRC that Brian was talking about. This big old beastie bad boy here.
Yeah, that's a lot of pages.
no, but you just type the word cricket and it takes you right to the answer.
Right, not on that. Yeah, it's so much easier. But remember when we were flipping the book?
Yeah.
Oh my Jesus.
To be grilled and eaten as a delicacy in other countries.
Oh, Lord.
Hey man, have you never had chocolate covered crickets? That's pretty good stuff.
Right? It's like chicken covered with chocolate. It's delicious.
Is that Adam?
Actually,
I'll pass.
That's a hard no.
Yes.
I'll try anything once.
Oh, Lord.
I used to sell them at the dollar store.
So right here, it gives us a reference number. The first option is crickets. Oh, here we go. There we go.
Cricket.
There we go. So R903.2.2.
Crickets and saddles.
Crickets and saddles. A cricket or saddle shall be installed on the ridge side of any chimney or penetration more than 30 inches wide as measured perpendicular to the slope. So comparative to the slope coming down, if it is 30 inches wide or more, a cricket or saddle will be used, and it is to divert rain and snow. So,
I think I've seen one of those in one of y'all's pictures before.
I would hope so.
oh yeah, no, you've seen. So a cricket, for those of you that don't know what it looks like, and again, I'm putting this entire test on a Quizlet, and I'm pulling little bits from the IRC and the NFPA, and I'm adding pictures. So a cricket, for those of you that don't know,
Yeah.
this is a cricket. So right there at the back of the chimney. And it is saying that from side to side, if this chimney is greater than 30 inches, you have to have a cricket. Does everybody get that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's throw this back here.
Direct water and snow away from the chimney.
So it redirects water and snow away from the chimney. Are we sure it's not placed between?
No, we're sure.
tiles, Becky?
We are positive.
That's a different
Oh, I know what to write
answer.
this too.
That's that answer.
Okay, so a wive. Now here's a fun fact. If you type
know what that is.
wive into anything, it's gonna try and autocorrect it to width. It's like, no, I didn't mean width.
A course of bricks separating flues within a chimney.
Let's see.
Yep.
So you want to take my test for me, Becky?
Yes. Hey, we studied when Brian was getting ready to take this, and I quizzed him and quizzed him and quizzed him.
So a withe, where referring to masonry chimneys, a course, a thickness, or a continuous vertical section of masonry separating flues within a chimney. So
That is correct.
let's see here. So the flues should never be touching one to the other. And we want the withe, which is this brick here in between them, to separate them.
A
So,
divider.
yeah, a divider. of brick, exactly.
it's a word for
Good way to
divide.
look at it, yeah.
So there is one. There is one right there. Did that blow up to the whole page?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's the
Yeah, there's
bricks
two of
in
them.
between the flue tiles. That is the withe. And then here it is on a side view. So that is a withe.
So wive is a divider.
A withe is a divider.
Okay.
And it's bricks.
Brick or masonry.
It's a brick or non-combustible masonry divider between flue tiles.
Right.
So we're gonna select the last one here, a course of brick separating flue tiles. within a chimney. Hang on 1 second.
Oh,
Get out of here. Go.
Well, let's see if y'all get this one right.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
when a round flue is used for the lining of a fireplace chimney, the proper fireplace opening flue size ratio
10 to 1.
should be.
Okay.
You know the answer, Cody?
Hang on. I already know the answer.
10 to 1.
All right, let's see. if-
But Corey, do you have the NFPA digital pulled up?
No, but I can get it real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be 10-1.
Did somebody say 10-1?
I did.
You're close.
12-1.
Yep.
I know. I deal with this all the time for.
What do you want me to do with it? Look it up.
So yeah, we want to look up the round flue lining size.
Round flue lining is 12-1. Square is 10-1. Square with a 2-1 ratio is still 10-1, and rectangle with anything more than a 2-1 ratio is 8-1. 18-1 don't exist.
Wow, look at you go.
Yeah.
All right. So for those of us paying attention, thank you, Corey, for answering that. Round flue. All right.
Thanks for Corey.
Let's see here. We're looking for flue linings and sizings. So we're looking for flue linings and sizings, which is right. So all I typed in was round flue because we know we're dealing with a round flue. And the whole point of this is to teach you guys how to be able to get in, find the information in the digital versions, and then that's going to help you study better. It's going to be a lot less hunting and pecking. So I'm just typing in round flue. I'm looking through all of the options on the side here. I found this one, 7.1.11.3, right? And that gives some basic information. But then the next one, 11.3.1, Corey, what does that say when you pull it up?
Well, I search up round flue and it doesn't even pull up on my iPad. So
Doesn't pull up on your iPad. Okay, so 7.1.11.3.1 states that round chimney flues shall have a minimum net cross-sectional area of at least 1/12 the fireplace opening. So when we're dealing with a fireplace opening, it's the cross-sectional area, right? And the way that we get the cross-sectional area is we're measuring the width and the height.
Rectangle, 2-1.
And then we need
Those rectangle
1/12 that size.
That's why.
So we've got, let me find my, where's my,
You basically just answered 4 questions on the test. Just at that part. Gotcha.
I think it's this one here. Yeah. So if we are measuring the width of the fireplace and the height of the fireplace, we need a minimum cross-sectional area of the round flue tile to be 1/12 that size. So we will go 12-1 on the ratio. Next question. Okay. Where unlined, the smoke chamber walls shall be what thickness? So with a lot of these, the actual question is posed just like it is posed in the books. So you can literally come over, back over to the NFPA and type in
I think it's 8
where
if it's lined and it's 10 if
unlined.
it's not lined. Or it's 6 if it's lined, it's 8 if it's not lined. I'm pretty sure it's 8 and 10.
Oh,
No.
oh wait.
Let's see here. So find it.
Eight.
Surfaces of the smoke chamber.
Um,
So right
Here, yeah. Shall be.
where unlined the smoke chamber. So I literally just started typing where unlined the smoke chamber, just like in the question. And I just had to find this one, which took a few seconds, shall not be less than 8 inches.
Thickness.
So that means lined is 6.
All right. So what that is stating is that when the smoke chamber is not lined, the thickness of it, the thickness of the walls has to be at least 8 inches, which is this area here. This and this both need to be a minimum 8 inches thick if it's not going to be lined with some kind of a smooth liner.
Yeah. Or it's 10, but that they're talking about the back. That's what I screwed up.
Okay. Here's a fun one. I am going to just pull up a picture and let you guys tell me what the answer is. This next one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 12.
This one's, I don't know what this one is.
So move all this mess out of the way here.
Equal or greater to,
And the opening of our plans.
equal or greater to, then it's gonna be 20. If it's less than 6 foot, it'll be 16.
Okay. So when the opening of the fireplace is 6 square feet, the extension of the hearth should be how many? So
If it's exactly 6, it should be
it
16
says
inches.
if it's exactly 6.
It's 16 inches. Isn't it?
No. Because the first one says equal to or greater.
Oh,
than
I see it. Yeah,
16.
so it's 20.
Yeah, so it's 20.
12 inches, 12 inches.
20 and 12 or 16 and 8.
20.
It's 20.
Right, but that's all it's gonna be.
Right.
20 out and 12 to the sides and the
The
top.
opening of the fireplace is
Yeah.
6 square feet. The extension of the hearth should be.
So the way that we come up with this is
Yeah,
we have
it's
to
out.
calculate the fireplace opening again. So we're going to take the width times the height.
Mhm.
So let's say we want to get to 6 square feet, right? So let's say that the width is going to be
20 by 30.
20 by 30.
Well,
Okay,
that's-
so let's say it's 30 wide. Well, let's use prefab numbers.
Okay.
So it's 36 wide times 21 tall. So that's your standard 36-inch prefabricated firebox. So it's 36 wide times 21 tall. And I wish I could. Do I have a calculator on my? I never use it if I do. Utilities. Oh, I do. Okay. So let's say 36 inches wide times 21 inches tall. Well, that gives us 756. So does anybody know how we get it to square feet from here?
Divided by
Times 144.
144.
Divided by 1.
I mean, divided by 144, yeah.
So divide it by 144. And that's going to come up with 5.25 square feet for the opening.
So that's 16.
So exactly. So this one would be 16. So if we're dealing with something, let's say, 60 inches wide by 27 inches tall is 1,620 square inches. Divide it by 144 is equivalent to 11.25 square feet.
So then it'd be the 20 and 12.
So that would be the 20 and 12. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
5 times width divided by 144 gives you a total square inches or square feet. And that gives you the,
So
follow
it's,
that.
so if you want to write it as a mathematical equation, you would literally do H times W divided by 144.
Right.
And then you need to know all you need to know is the two sizings. So when it says when Brian is saying 20 and 12 and 16 and 8, what he's talking about is from the face of the fireplace extending back out into the room, it shall be no less than 20 inches. And then from the opening on the left-hand side of the fireplace, off to the left and to the right, it shall be no less than 12 inches. So that's
Right.
equal to or greater than 6 square feet.
Okay.
If it's less than 6 square feet, from the fireplace opening at the base out for the hearth extension shall be no less than 16 inches. And the non-combustible material extending to the left and right side shall be no less than 8 inches.
That, look at the picture, it makes sense now.
Yeah. So, and if anybody is ever studying this and they have questions about it, you're more than welcome to call me and we can go over it again.
Will we have access to like this diagram?
Yes. Any of the ones
Fantastic.
that aren't already on the Connect Team tab, either myself or Madeline can put them on there.
Thank you.
I've added a whole bunch more into that file, into that iCloud file, Madeline. As I'm building up the Quizlet with all of these same questions on it, and it's going to be the same multiple choice. And when you click the correct one, it pops up and it shows the picture. So, okay. What's your question, Brock?
All right, so in that picture, it's showing you're measuring right from the first brick outside of the firebox, that in from the firebox, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you start measuring from the outside of the brick that extends. This is
Okay.
where,
I understand what you're getting at. So let me hit the old fancy markup button over here. So the fireplace opening, just remember, the fireplace opening is here.
yes.
This is not the fireplace opening back here. Because this wall here is extending all the way through this layer of brick. The fireplace opening is there at that edge, which means that if you're lining it up, it's going to start right there.
Okay.
Mm,
Does that make sense?
yes.
Yes, sir. That's what I clarify, so I knew exactly.
Yeah. So that's the fireplace opening is extending through that facade brick. And the opening is not official until it breaches the facade brick. At that point out. So we're not starting at the firebox floor inside of the firebox. We're starting level with the firebox opening.
All right, thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Nope.
Okay. So we said the answer. All right. The inner surfaces of the smoke chamber shall not be inclined more than 45 degrees from vertical.
True.
So again, you can just go right back to the NFPA, and we want to know about smoke chambers, right? So that's the general topic. You can search direct topics, or you can look for general topics. And we want to look for a diagram. You can click very quickly through this diagram. And what does that diagram right there show us?
The inner surface of a smoke chamber, 45 degrees.
But what does that say below 45 degrees?
Match.
Out of the way. And pull. Here's a blown up version of the same picture. So
The max is 45 degrees.
max is 45 degrees, right? So over here, the inner surface of the smoke chamber shall not be inclined more than, or if you want to read it a different way, to the maximum of 45 degrees. So true or false?
True.
Bam. Okay, a level 2 inspection includes inspection of accessible areas of attics, basements, and crawl spaces. Educators, stay quiet. So level, you got to remember everybody likes Roman numerals, but right here on the screen you can see level 2 inspections, and that is 15.4. So let's do this the hard way. We can just scroll straight through this, and that was right there at the very beginning in the glossary, and it stated it was in where's that? So this is just right here at the appendix, contents, I'm sorry, contents. And chapter 15, inspections of existing chimneys. 15.4 covers level 2 inspections. That's that right there. So we just need to scroll to 15.4.
Is there a time limit on the test?
I don't know. I've never taken the test before.
There is, but honestly, with the chimney inventing part of it, it should be a breeze for all of us. It's the IRC that's going to be the hardest part, unless you actually have the, where you can Google search the IRC. If you have the downloadable PDF version, makes it way easier. If you have it like the phone
Everybody
book of the
knows.
IRC, it's going to be a pain in the butt. But
So it's what we're talking about, what we're looking for is a level 2 inspection includes inspection of accessible areas. So right here in the diagram, we have the scope, which tells us what we're supposed to do, the circumstances as to what or why, and then the degree of access required. And it states right there in the middle, all accessible portions of the chimney exterior and interior, including areas within accessible attics, crawl spaces, and basements.
True.
Accessible portions.
Well, that'd be true.
So we will go with true. Everybody feel good about true?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this an open book
No.
test?
No. I'm showing you guys how to do the practice test and
Mhm.
look the answers up so that when you're doing it on your own, you can do that. Tomorrow, the Chimney Inventing Essentials book. I look like I'm trying to promote this book that I just wrote. So the Chimney Inventing Essentials books will be in tomorrow
Mhm.
at some point. And this will walk you through, I've already got tabs going. But if you use the practice test on Surefire and you use the Quizlet that I posted earlier in the week, and you're going through both of those and you're studying everything that's in those 2 items, you're going to give yourself a pretty good fighting chance to be able to understand it. But it's with this one, you just read through the book and it tells you about the construction of chimneys, how to inspect them. There's even stuff in this about how to take care of customers and give good customer service. There's stuff in here for the call centers. So this is the Chimney Inventing Essentials book is really going to be the main study guide, but it's hard for me to get you guys to follow along with this book right now until we all get it. So as of next week, when we do this on Tuesday and Thursday of next week, everybody should have a copy of this. In the meantime, I want to show you today how to access these digital copies of the books that I can get you, so that when you take your practice test, or if you're working on the Quizlet and you're sitting there and you've got the Quizlet pulled up on your phone, and you can scroll through the NFPA on like an iPad or on your laptop or something, or the IRC, and you can get into it and you can figure out how to do the searching so that you can find the answers. And a lot of times when you pull up an individual answer for something, like this one picture that I've pulled up for several questions now, There's just a lot of information in this one picture
Right.
that is really going to help you. So you'll go back and you'll see this one picture over and over and over and over as you work your way through the Quizlet and through the Surefire test, and you're slowly just going to start absorbing that information. So we've got about a month for everybody to study on it, and
Okay.
if we keep doing these little if we keep doing a couple hours a week, team studies as a little study group, and then everybody's doing their own stuff at home on their own time. Anybody that actually studies is going to stand a better chance than someone that doesn't study. Anybody that studies with other people, it's proven fact it's going to help you. It's going to help you pass.
Cody, I have a question real quick.
Yes, sir.
Where is the smoke chambers for the degrees, for the angles of it? How do we determine that?
How do you determine the actual angle of the smoke chamber?
Yes.
Short of tearing out the back wall and measuring the angle of the smoke chamber? That is an excellent question. You can calculate it based on rise over run. If you know where the sidewall begins in the firebox, the smoke chamber will be above that. And then you can calculate the distance from that wall to the innermost point of the smoke chamber. And that will give you, so you've got rise, you've got run, and you can use the Pythagorean theorem to find out the length of the hypotenuse down to the base of the damper. And then calculating on the A side of the triangle, you can come up with your degrees of attack.
Sounds like a laboratory inspection is easier.
Another thing you can do if you have a 6-inch speed square at a 6-inch level, put the speed square up on the brick with the level of the magnetic level attached to it, and it'll give you a pretty good indication of if it's 45 degrees or more as well, because it's the right angle with the first.
They also sell the
Makes sense.
angle. I forget what they're called. The little angle meters. You can get it at Harbor Freight. The little angle meters at Harbor Freight. You just put it up in there and you set it on the smoke chamber, and the needle will fall and tell you at what angle it's hanging.
Yeah.
So they also have that. But if you find a smoke chamber that's built to the incorrect angle, you're going to write them an estimate to tear out the entire thing all the way down to the firebox and rebuild it. So
we might as well hand them some nitroglycerin with it.
Stick of dynamite. Okay. The purpose of a heat reclaimer is, and our options are to increase creosote in the system.
Yes,
Which I don't think we want, seeing as how creosote is the leading cause of chimney fires. Tidbit, write that down. Is to move air through the house. Is to bring combustion air to the appliance.
Nope.
Or to extract heat from the flue gases.
Yes.
So just so people that don't know, because we really don't do any stove work at all, a heat reclaimer is this bad boy right here, this big box right here. So what happens is as the stove is burning and the heat is going up into the flue pipe, the heat reclaimer is a box that's going to circulate cool air around that on one side, and it will, there's passive ones that don't actually circulate air. It just naturally happens through convection without a fan. But it's going to collect excess heat within the box and then radiate it back out and into the house. So we're pulling some of the heat that would naturally be going up the flue. We're going to pull it out and push it back out into the room. So we're extracting heat loss from the flue gases and then pushing that back into the room. So that is what a heat reclaimer is. So everybody that's on here is officially seen a heat reclaimer. So to extract heat from the flue gases. Bam. All right. What answer best describes the allowable free airspace around a flue tile? hand. I'm pretty sure it was this one.
Two,
Yeah,
whichever one.
right.
The second one.
Allowable free airspace around the food tile.
Hmm. What that means is where the food tile is, there has to be at least a half an inch. But it can't be any more than 4
From what?
for like outside airflow to come through.
Oh. I see.
So this one I had a lot of trouble actually locating it, but I did find it. And I found it by looking up airspace, because that is the subject of what it is that we're looking for. And it's found on 29 different pages. So you just kind of have to keep going. Now I think it's, let's see here. That's airspace between the chimney, factory building, minimum air spacing. And it's 7 point,
You just missed it, Cody.
did I?
Yep, it's on the bottom of that one page. Keep going down. Keep going. Right there, 7.2.12.1.
There it is. So a lot of these, you're just gonna have to find your way through it, but there it is.
4 inches.
And so by searching the subject, you're looking for the subject of what the question is. And the subject of this question is the airspace. So what answer best describes the allowable free airspace around the flue tile? And it doesn't say in here anywhere. Let's see. It doesn't say allowable free.
It's right above
Yeah.
that.
Right above it, Cody.
Yeah.
1/2 to 4 inches.
12.1. See. There it is. Fire clay flue lining, residential low heat masonry, chimney, by walls.
It's not the same.
But it doesn't say allowable free airspace. That's what I was looking for. 7.2.12.1. So fire clay and flue lining, low heat masonry chimneys shall be separated from the chimney by a wall, chimney wall by a minimum of 1/2 inch and a maximum of 4 inches of airspace. So this is saying that the actual flue lining itself so it's a terrible one to use. It's good down here at the bottom. But the actual flue lining, in this case, the terracotta tiles, need at minimum a 1/2 inch before the masonry, but no more than 4 inches.
Oh.
Is what that
Okay.
is stating.
We really don't want the masonry right up against the terracotta then.
Right. And do you know why?
Well, that was gonna be my next question when you said no.
Yeah, that's not a good picture. So the reason why is, let me go back to this one here. Let me get this one back up here for you. So the reason why is that we're venting all of the excess heat, creosote, noxious gases, everything else. So as the heat is rising, these flue tiles are going to heat. Number one, the flue tiles are going to expand a small amount, and that amount that they expand, it needs an air gap to provide to allow them to expand without hitting any masonry.
Yep.
So, number one, they're going to expand and they need room to expand.
Makes
Number
sense.
two,
No,
the air that's
I
around them.
don't
Yeah.
understand that part. That makes sense.
So the air that flows around those flue tiles is going to help cool the flue tiles so they don't build up an excess of heat. If the brick were right next to the flue tiles, less than a 1/2 inch, and you did have a flue fire, the flue tile could heat up to the point at which it's glowing, which means that it could heat the brick up to the point at which it's glowing red. And if that's at the point where the chimney is coming through the roof line, it could ignite the composite shingles or the wood frame of the house.
Hmm.
So we want an
Gotcha.
air gap to prevent the translation of excess heat and to allow for expansion of the flue tiles.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense.
Yes, yes, it does. We're seeing it on the picture helped me a lot because, wow.
Everybody loves good pictures.
I was just gonna ask you about a lemon lime Tic Tac.
No.
What?
Huh?
Joe wanted to know if anybody wanted a Tic Tac.
Oh, no, thank you, Joe.
Your squirrels probably want M&Ms.
I
Yeah.
want one.
Okay,
That'd be 30.
we just went over this one. Madeline, crickets are recommended whenever the chimney is blank, wide, or more.
And 30.
Absolutely.
Woohoo.
Yay. You go, girl.
Right.
All right, so that was as far as I had actually gotten in answering all of the questions when I was putting them into the Quizlet. So we'll actually search the rest of these. The maximum allowable slope of an offset in a vertical flue.
30.
If I pull up, I think that's gonna come back to about 45 degrees again.
No.
I think it's 30.
I actually looked this one up. It was 30.
Oh,
Was
nice.
30.
Think about why all our offsets for our prefab fireboxes that we install say SL330 because it means 30 degree.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to see
Oh.
if I could find it in here.
True. Huh.
Now the SL330 comes in two pieces for the educators and the techs. SL330 comes in two pieces that each bend up to 15 degrees. It's two 15-degree pieces, which can give you a maximum of 30 degrees of bend total. So if we're coming up from
That's
the
the
firebox
elbows.
and the chimney is not directly above the firebox, we can put the first piece of the SL330 on. That will bend it 15 degrees. And then we can run a section of pipe off and then another 15-degree bend to send it straight up and into the chimney.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking something different. Yeah,
So let's see.
yeah, because that's what it was on all those ones we get out of that apartment complex, Brian.
That one's
Yeah, it's 30.
30.
horrible slope in a vertical.
Corey, you said you looked it up. Did you remember where you saw it?
I actually didn't see it in the book. I looked it up on the internet. This was before I had access to the book. You can try searching up 30 degrees and see if it comes up.
How many times 30 is going to pop up? 63 to be exact.
Slope,
Smoke chamber.
maximum allowable slope. Maybe type that.
You're recording this one too, right, Cody?
Oh, I record all of them. Yes, ma'am.
So I can go back and redo my notes better.
Absolutely.
Thank
Alright,
you.
we're gonna call it 30. I mean,
Okay.
I know it's 30, but I wanted to find it so that we had it on here. So if somebody was watching later, they could see that it was 30. But I mean, I know it's 30. Brian,
You could look up slope of flue liner.
slope of
They didn't pop up anything on mine.
Wow.
Huh.
there we go. Installation of offsets in flue. Height of offsets. Let's see, what is this? A level 2 inspection is limited to the blah 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 blah. See, this is just talking about it. Installation and condition of the offsets. Means you're.
Oh, go back up. Go back
What?
up a little, no, back to where you're at with all the yellow on it. And all that right there.
Offset rise or slope, but they don't say.
Yeah, I thought it said right down the right top corner there. The-
7.2.13.2.
7.2.13.2. 7.2.13.2.
Yep, it's right there.
Oh, yeah. Good job.
Look at
The
you
lining
go.
shall be carried
The
up.
lining shall be carried up as nearly vertically as possible with
Oh,
a
it's just
maximum
line.
allowable slope no greater than 30 degrees from vertical.
I found it by searching up 30 degree.
Yeah, you cheated.
No, he used context clues.
You use context. There you go. Okay, so 30 degrees. We're good. We're gonna move on. Okay. Next question. The net area of the spark arrestor must not be less than 3 times the net free area of the chimney flue. So we're talking about spark arresters.
It's true. But
I think it's true, but I don't know.
Wonder if I can find the net area.
circular part, not the pipe. So yeah, managed by,
Oh, then it has to go
and then it
out
has to go out like 18 inches.
over the pipe, right? Or not
less-
over it, but
Not less than 3 times, because that would make it like 24.
There we go.
This fallacy is probably 2
Spark
times.
arresters, which is under 4.6.4. The net free area of the arrestor shall not be less than 3 times the net free area of the outlet of the chimney flue it serves. So, number one, just knowing that that is correct, that's true, but that is a completely different thing to understand how to calculate the net free area. Because then you have to calculate the outer surface of a cylinder versus the opening of the flue. So we know that the spark arrestor has to have 3 times the net free area of the flue. So true. Bam. What is the minimum thickness of a withe? Becky, you're the withe professional.
4 inches nominal, I believe.
It's nominal.
I'm almost 95% on that one. Let's see. I'm gonna write this down. Minimum thickness.
Seven point two point 14.2.
14.2. Yeah, there we go. All right. The separation shall be of solid masonry withes, partitions, bonded or securely tied to the chimney walls and constructed according to one of the following. First, not less than 4 inches nominal in thickness,
Sweet.
or constructed of reinforced Portland or refractory cement concrete, not less than 4 inches in actual thickness. So does anyone know the difference between Now, this is kind of a misleading question because it doesn't say whether it's brick or Portland cement.
True.
Well,
But it says what's
Well, I
the
was gonna
minimum
ask-
thickness.
So
Well,
does
I was
anybody
gonna
know the
ask
difference
a
between an actual measurement and a nominal measurement?
that's the question, I'd like to ask.
Okay. So actual measurement means that if you're measuring something actually 4 inches, it actually needs to be 4 inches.
Okay.
A nominal measurement is ish. So if you're saying it needs to be 4 inches nominal, you're saying it needs to be 4 inches ish.
I don't
4-ish
know.
inches. Does
Okay,
anybody
that's what
know?
it comes back in.
It can vary by a ½ inch in either direction, correct?
That was gonna be my next question. So a nominal measurement when you're talking about masonry products is a ½ inch allowable. So if you're saying that your withe needs to be built of brick with a nominal measurement of 4 inches, then it honestly could be anywhere between 3.5 and 4.5 inches, because you can go over or under a ½ inch.
Okay.
This is the minimum.
So that's it, so nominal is 4-ish, where 4 actual is
Actually
solid
4.
4 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 actual is actually 4, and 4 nominal is 4-ish.
Well, since you have an inch difference there between the 3.5, 4.5, why is it so critical? The actual measurement is 4 inches. I mean, if the nominal is got an inch different one way or the other, why does the actual have to be so critical?
Because it says it in the book.
Okay. Good enough answer. For the
That's-
purpose of the
that's-
conversation, what we're doing, good enough answer.
That's like when somebody asks me why Chad wants something done a particular way, and I say because he signs the paychecks.
Well,
That's Chad, though.
if you think about it this way, when you have a white that's going all the way up, that's separating 2 flues that has airspace between a ½ to 4 inches away, besides what the distance of those are and everything, it's not as exact as like a smoke chamber parging or parge that
There you
is
go.
exactly 8 or
So what Brian is saying is if they're gonna do Portland cement, then they're gonna put up walls to frame, and then they'll pour the cement in it. So they're gonna build a mold of 4 inches thick. But if you're building it out of brick, the bricks could be wider or smaller as it goes up. So you're not dealing with an exact unit if you're using brick, right, Brian? Is that what you're saying?
well, that, and yeah, exactly. It's just when they're talking about minimum, then you're talking about nominal, but when you talk about exact, you're talking about exact. It's just,
Right. Okay.
oh, liners used, oh yeah.
Chimney liners are listed to what standard? So is it the UL 1777, the UL 1477, the NFPA 1777, or none of the above? Angela, why don't you start Googling from the top down and tell me which one makes sense? Start with the first one. Google
Okay,
UL.
hold on, I gotta get my Google up.
And this is
Get your
important
Googler
question.
out.
thing on the
Get
test.
my Googler out, hold on.
It's knowing what UL listing goes with what piping. What you're looking at the UL listing.
Hold on. I can't get this screen to go smaller. Hold on.
Yeah, but if she looks up NFPA 1777,
It's not gonna come out.
that'd be really interesting.
Hold on. All right. Sorry. My computer's moving very, very slow.
There you go.
I have it right here. UL 1777.
I know.
Oh no, I've lost you guys. There you
They're
are.
just trying to mess with you.
UL 17.
7.
Okay. So the Underwriters Laboratories, which is UL, or, yeah. 1777. They're the ones that go in and do testing and certify it and say, this liner works for this. So it is UL 1777, which over here, UL.
10, 3, 10 minute.
Oh, it doesn't even
burn,
mention it.
still
Oh,
fuel
that's because
nurses.
I'm on the wrong book. So we'll go back over to IRC UL 1777.
And what was the question?
The question was,
chimney
chimney
liners
liners
are
are
listed
listed
to
to
what
what
standard?
standard?
Okay, yeah, because when I Google searched it, it basically says that all stainless steel flue liners are UL listed or tested the UL 1777 standard, which means they have been subjected to a series of tests, including 3 10-minute, 2,100-degree burns. Steel flue liners will withstand exposure to a chimney fire for a short duration, but can become damaged in long burning fires. That's what I get when I get Google.
So you're going with UL 1777 is what you're going.
That's
So,
you said start with the first one. That's what I got.
And
so what,
then if you type it into the IRC,
Mm-hmm.
it literally, the second one that comes up, it talks about chimney linings and are, and that come into contact with combustibles in accordance with UL 1777. So
Yeah.
that's the exact same right there.
Okay.
Who has a question?
well, I was looking at chimney tests earlier in, Surefire. And they were talking about the difference between stainless steel and galvanized. So I was just wondering if they're talking about stainless steel or galvanized, or if it even makes a difference. If it's all the same code.
If it's going to be in a class A chimney, which means any chimney that can burn solid fuel, which could be corn, pellet, or wood, the flue lining has to be made out of stainless steel. In B vented units or oil burning furnaces, it can be made from galvanized steel, or, well, it used to be able to be made out of galvanized steel.
Depending on what gauge it is.
Right, depending on what gauge it is, or aluminum. So in your B vents and your direct vents, they'll use aluminum. And anything that's going to be burning solid fuel, it has to be stainless steel.
Okay.
Hey, Cody,
Solid steel, stainless steel.
Yeah.
we looked this one up earlier. L vents were the ones that were the stainless steel, and then B vents were the ones that were aluminum, correct?
Yes.
Or galvanized, yeah.
Okay.
True.
The NFPA 211 recommends annual cleaning of chimneys, fireplaces, and vents. What'd you say, Angela?
No, I said true.
True. Does everybody here agree that the National Fire Code states that your chimneys, fireplaces, and vents should be cleaned annually?
Yes.
It's fall.
Yes.
It's fine. So it is true, and that goes for all fuel burning appliances.
No, it recommends that they should all be inspected every year.
Inspected.
You're very true. That annual cleaning is the cleaning's the key word. It should be an annual
Inspected.
inspection.
Yep.
Okay, let's look it up. Cleaning.
Look up the first part when they do the level 1 inspection for on the NFPA 211.
Look up the what?
When they go through like level 1, level 2, level 3
Uh-huh.
inspections, and when it says annual inspections recommended by the NFPA 211. It doesn't say anything about cleaning, it says inspection.
If he goes back to the first thing he searched for, that first page said it right there. inspection, cleaning, and everything.
So right here, annual inspections, 14.2, chimneys, fireplaces, and vents shall be inspected at least once a year in accordance with requirements of section 15.2.
I'm in a meeting.
Exception of type
I'm in a
B
meeting.
and BW gas vented systems. 14.2.1, cleaning, maintenance, and repairs shall be done if necessary.
There you go.
Yep, so it is false.
Yep. I called Jim Brewer on this because I'm like, bullshit, man. It said that right.
Cody, look up cleaning again.
Look up what?
Look up cleaning again. Right there. Read that part that's not highlighted at your first page. Oh, okay, no, that addresses. It's really small. I thought I read it where it says it
just
has to.
addresses cleaning and whatnot.
All right, I'm wrong. That's
Stating
fine.
that it addresses cleanings and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so false. They're not recommending cleaning of the chimneys, fireplaces, and vents. Which, by the way, everybody, we are at an hour. If you guys want to call it quits for the night, we can, or we can go a little longer. It's whatever you want to do.
I'm so lost right now anyway, so I'm gonna have to go back and review all of this. I'm only halfway through the first one anyway, so.
Okay, well, we got to the NFPA 211 one, so that'll give me a good gauge of what we can go through in a single day. Okay, I'm gonna do this last one and then I'll let everybody off and we'll see if anybody has any questions about anything.
Okay.
The horizontal length of a single wall connector to a natural draft chimney or vent serving a single appliance shall be no more than blank of the height of the vertical height of the chimney. So this is stating that if there is a horizontal length of single wall pipe, so in the case of a wood stove, if you're going to come off the stove and it's going to turn and go left to right, straight, flat, and then it's going to go up and out the outside of the house and vent up, how much of the total length of the run is allowed to be sideways versus the chimney that's going to go the vertical height of the chimney?
So basically how long, you're allowed that length that you're talking about when you see those like wood burning stoves, they come up, there's normally a curve and then they go back up to the ceiling.
Right,
You're
right.
talking about that length.
Right. Well, I'm talking about, so if you consider the vertical part,
Mm-hmm.
the total vertical length, how much of that measurement are you allowed to go sideways? Horizontal. Does anybody want to look this up?
I don't think it's 33 because that's too much. 2 times. You're looking it up in the book. They're looking it up online.
I know, but I have it highlighted and I know certain areas of the book already. Silly. Oh, wait, that was on.
Hey, Cody.
75% of the vertical rise. I found it.
You go, girls.
Yeah, but that's not
The amount of horizontal run is imperative. The IRC says it cannot be more than 75% of the vertical rise.
But that's not what the question.
Oh,
is.
darn it.
Hey, Cody.
Yeah.
Can you look at 9.3.1?
That's where I am.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't looking at.
It can't be more.
Horizontal run, 50%.
So the answer is none of the above.
None
None of the above. Because it was right below it right here.
Yeah,
NFP 211 limits the horizontal run to 50% of the vertical rise.
right.
So if your
But-
if your vertical height of the chimney is 10 feet, then that means that it can only go flat left to right, a maximum of 5 feet.
Right. 50%.
Well, technically, here's an even better question that leads right into that. How far does it have to travel up as it travels horizontally? For you know what I mean? For every foot that it travels horizontally, how
Horizontally.
far does it go up?
I know the answer, but
I don't know.
does anybody else?
No.
Quarter inch,
No,
right?
Yep.
Yep.
What is
what'd
it?
you say it was?
A quarter inch for every foot.
For every foot that it travels horizontally, it has to go up a quarter inch.
So like think
Okay.
of a direct vent that vents directly out the side of a house.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really direct going right out the side of the house. It's just as much as that pipe went out when it makes a 90. It's really not a 90. So if it goes a foot, it goes a quarter. If it goes 2 foot, it goes a half, so on and so forth until it gets out.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a quarter inch.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to butt in on that. I just kind of saw that it fed right into that question that we were already looking up. So
Well, you're the
Yeah,
only one
yeah.
that's been qualified.
Yeah.
Or I mean certified.
Certified.
Yeah, Adam is definitely certifiable. That's for sure.
Right.
certifiably crazy.
Right.
All right.
But with what Becky had just found, this question is just the same thing when you're talking about the 75%, like it's sitting right there. It's in this book, but it says that it can't be more than 75. Read it again. I can't see it right now.
The IRC says it cannot be more than 75% of the vertical rise. That
Right.
was the first one. And it limits the horizontal run to 50%.
Right. So I mean, that could have been a question instead of that one.